Hey everyone, I'm Trevor and we're at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park to take you on the ultimate guided tour. We are going to show you every animal, exhibit, and food place here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. So let's get going. As soon as we get through the turnstiles after scanning our tickets, we have maps over here off to our right. And don't pass this, they have a hyacinth macaw right over here, right next to the map station. And if we swing around over here, the safari photo, this is where you pick up your photos if you have photos throughout the day at the park. They do this at the Africa Tram, they do photos at Butterfly Jungle and things like that. Right next to that, we have stroller and wheelchair rental. A single stroller is $14, a double is $18, a wheelchair is $14, and a shaded electric scooter is $55. Right here next to the stroller rental is Safari Outfitters, which is going to be your first gift shop here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. You can check that out when you first get here, or you can do it on your way out. To the right is an aviary. We typically get this on the way out, and that's how we're going to film it. But for right now, we're just going to head straight forward. You head across this bridge and you can see a variety of birds off to your right. We are not going to be able to look at absolutely every single animal here at the safari park, but we will mention which ones are in what location for you. And then of course, all of the animals with the big exhibits, we will show you those. But we're gonna cover all the exhibit areas, just not hyper focus in on, every individual bird. We'd be here for a very long time. The first official area of the zoo that you will enter is known as Safari Base Camp. If you go off here to the right, there is a viewing area that looks over a small watery area with some more birds. But we're going to swing over here to the left. If you want some coffee, right here at the Safari Coffee Outpost, a very popular place to get coffee first thing here in the morning. You'll also notice a carousel straight ahead. That is a paid ride that you can do here. There's just a lot to look at and see here. They have a variety of food in here. Congo Kitchen over off to our right, which we'll walk a little closer to. Congo Kitchen is a place where you're gonna find chili cheese dogs, cheese dogs, hot dogs, nachos, supreme, churros, pretzels, popcorn, those sorts of things. They're basically snack type things. The primary gift shop for the San Diego Zoo Safari Park right here in the heart of the Safari Base Camp is the Bazaar. It's the largest gift shop at the Safari Park. Not currently open by the looks of it. It says it opens at 10 a.m. To the left of the Bazaar is Thorn Tree Terrace. Now they have some pretty great food over here at Thorn Tree Terrace. Let's see if we can see the menu from the outside. If you are here during a seasonal time of year, they may have special food items at these different locations. Thorn Tree Terrace has spring cream cheese wontons at the moment. Looks like we've got burgers. They do have an Asian entree, some rice bowls, salad, and a few sides and desserts. The Barking Deer Pizza over here is a great place to get pizza. It's just a small little shack. They've got some tables. There's tables all around here. You can even just flip around and go sit over there at Thorn Tree Terrace with your pizza. But don't discount the Barking Deer Pizza. They got pretty good pizza there. This building with the grass roofs over here is actually the first aid station. It's called the Park Base. We've actually had to take our kid in there before, so it's helpful to know where that is. If you take the path behind the park base, this area is going to take you up to the Tigers, Walkabout Australia, Condor Ridge. And I recommend going one of two places first thing in the morning. Either up here, because this area that we're going to can get very crowded, congested, like shuffle, shuffle, press, shuffle. And if you don't like that sort of thing, come up here first. The second place that we recommend going first is the Africa Tram. And we'll show you why when we get there, because it will probably have a long line by the time we get there.
If it's your first time and probably only time coming, go to the Tram first.
I would agree that the Tram is a fun 30-minute tour. And if you don't get there right away, you may be waiting an hour.
And it takes you around animals that you won't see unless you go on the Tram. So
Very
it's
good
not
point.
like the zoo where you can still see those animals without going on the bus. If you don't go on the Tram, you don't see any of those animals.
Yep, very good point. Our path takes us up this wooden walkway. It's a really neat kind of walkway. Once you get to this fork in the road, you can either go right to go to the Toll Family Tiger Trail, or we can swing over here off to the left, and we're gonna head up to Walkabout Australia first. There's no particular reason for choosing this way first. I just like walking clockwise. Here we come to yet another fork in the road. If you head off to your right, you're gonna go to Condor Ridge. We're gonna go to the left and go through Walkabout Australia. To our right is the Wallaby enclosure. This is a path that you can actually go walk along closer to the wallabies. You can't really pet them, and you're not supposed to leave the path. And you can see the wallabies even from out here. As you see, they're actually down here, so they're closer on this path than they are up in the walking section. Over here is a littler wallaby. He probably was once a joey, but he's too big to fit in a pouch now. If you want to go into the marsupial walkway, you got to park your stroller right here and then go through these doors over here off to the right. We came inside the walkway for you. This is just what it looks like. Here's the path. There's a nice little waterfall in here. We're at the end of the path now. It's going to loop back, and we see a few more over here, plus another younger joey. He's not quite an itty bitty baby, but he's still younger. There's another youth over here. He's like eating something behind the rock. Oh, hello. You're cute, aren't you? Little cute guy. That is quite possibly the closest to a wallaby we've ever gotten here on the Walkabout Trail. We've left the wallaby area now and we're walking towards the platypus. Just so you know, I mean, you can see that inside trail from this path here, but it also doesn't cost anything to go in there, so you might as well. Right here is the platypus habitat, and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park is the only place that you can see a platypus outside of Australia. So we're gonna come on in. It's very dark in here. They keep his habitat nice and dark. We'll see if we can see him swimming around. Now, unfortunately, we didn't see the platypus today. You're not always guaranteed to see him because he does have the ability to come in and out of his exhibit at will. But we have seen him in the past, and I'll show you that footage.
Very briefly.
Oh, there!
There he is.
Yeah.
The Tucker truck up here to our left has a variety of Aussie snacks. I've rarely seen this open as of late, but they do have an Aussie jackfruit wrap and a bacon cheeseburger here when it does happen to be open. Right past the Tucker truck is a bonsai garden. This is something that you shouldn't pass up. They have a variety of bonsai trees in here that if you absolutely love taking a look at plants, then you are going to definitely, for sure, want to walk through here and take your time looking at everything. The bonsai garden dead ends though, so you will have to loop back around and continue your way through Walkabout Australia. When you reach the top of the path, you will find yourself at the West Wool Shed. Coming in here is the only way to see a few of the animals here at the safari park. Right here in the back is the Maggie's tree kangaroo. I don't see him out at the moment, but this is where you'll be able to find him. Oh, there he is. We found him hanging out in the tree. And then if you come out this way, we'll find the cassowary. There's the cassowary. There are actually two of them in here. This is the second one over on the other side of the exhibit. We are now leaving Walkabout Australia and we're heading towards Condor Ridge. But right here brings another fork in the road. If we head off to the left, we're actually gonna go to the World Garden. We're gonna skip that and come to Condor Ridge. You can see a good chunk of the World Garden from this path. I prefer not to go up there. It's honestly just all plants. There's no animals up there. If you are a plant lover and you like the bonsai garden, then you'll probably also like the World Garden. If I can find some footage from going up there, I'll show you it. But I find absolutely nothing interesting up there. It's all an off-road dirt path, so it's hard to get the stroller up there. And like I said, there's really nothing to look at but cactuses and plants of varying types. We have some bighorn sheep over here to our left. They're just chilling and hanging out in the shade for the most part today. But right back here is those big California condors.
right here.
There's a variety of them here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5
Mustache.
visible from right here.
And the last one up here sitting facing this cat.
I tried to zoom in for you, but I couldn't get too close. The chain link fence wouldn't let my camera focus. So that was as close as you're gonna get for me. I love this view. Absolutely breathtaking. Condor Ridge is home to a variety of other birds as well. We have little owls in here. We have toucans and a few other birds and a bald eagle in a moment, if we can find him. The bald eagles can be found in this exhibit, and you can see him right there with his white head. These birds can't fly. Injuries received in the wild have left them unable to fly. This habitat gives them ample room to move around. And there's our bald eagle. Once again, the path splits. If you head off to the right, you're gonna go towards Walkabout Australia and back towards the safari base camp. If we head to the left, we're gonna go down the Arbor Trail and towards the Tiger Trail. But right here in the center, they have yet more plants for you to enjoy. Again, we're not going to walk through it because it's just plants, but they do have different paths in here, different potted plants that you can check out. The Arbor Trail here is one of my favorite paths in the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. It always reminds me of the national parks like Sequoia and Kings Canyon and those sorts of places. When you reach the end of the Arbor Trail, you're going to find the Tiger Trail. They do have 3 tigers here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. The only thing off to the left is some additional viewing for the tiger. This dead ends and you loop right back around. Since there are 3 tigers, we're not going to be too concerned about seeing the one over here in this cage. We'll likely see the other 2 a little bit further on in the exhibit. Regular viewers of my channel will know that I cannot go to the zoo or the safari park without doing this. I'm sorry. I love Jungle Cruise so much. Behold the 8th wonder of the world, the backside of water. This here is the Sambutan Longhouse. They usually have a food place in here. It looks like they are currently closed at the moment. This is the McCann Market. They'll also have gift shop items underneath these tarps. The second tiger can be found here in this portion of the exhibit. I don't see him at the moment. It wraps around though. And the primary tiger that you'll see if you're coming from the other direction is this guy right here. And he's laying down having a snooze today in the shade. We're working our way out now. To our left is the exhibit for tiger number 1. And to the right is the exhibit for tiger number 2. This is very easy to miss if you're coming from the other direction. But down this path is one of my kids' favorite features. And you see there are many kids enjoying it as well. A playground, and they're gonna go work off some energy. To the left here is a path that they've had roped off for a little while, but it's a climbing path that gets you down closer to an observation area for the tiger. Now we are entering the bamboo forest. This is the path to the way out of the Tiger Trail. In fact, there's this really nice statue of the tiger over here off to our left. And now we're right back to this wooden path. That ends the Walkabout Australia area, Condor Ridge, and the Tiger Trail. We have to go back to the Safari Base Camp to continue on through the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Now is a great time to tell you, if you are enjoying this video and you're finding it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Lets YouTube know that you enjoy this video and that others might like it as well. Plus hit the subscribe button as we go to all the Southern California theme parks, zoos, aquariums, and attractions. We'd love to have you stick around. Once we get back and over on the other side of the Safari Base Camp, we're actually going to reach another fork in the road. If you head to our right, you'll go towards the gorillas. To our left, we're gonna go to Nairobi Station. There are a couple of paths in here, and we're gonna have to just do a bunch of loop backs for you. We're gonna start off to the left and actually go down into the station itself, and then we'll come back through Nairobi Village and the Mombasa Lagoon. We'll show you those in just a minute. There are a variety of animals in here, like a sand cat over there off to the left. They do have the San Diego Zoo Kids Theater with Robert the Zebra. Robert is a really funny type animal. It kind of reminds me of Turtle Talk with Crush at Disney. You can actually talk to Robert the zebra whenever he's here, and he'll interact back with you through the television screen there. There's some pancake tortoises. Looks like a tenrel. We have a woma, tree boa, and the one that we really liked was the sugar gliders, but it looks like their exhibit is down at the moment. The Kalahari cupboard opens up a little bit later in the day, and it offers ice cream. Really great place to get like funnel cakes and those sorts of things here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. To our left is the petting corral. This is the petting zoo here at the Safari Park. You can go in there. They have goats for the most part. If you haven't been to the safari park in a while, something that they changed about the petting zoo since COVID is that they built this wooden barrier here, and people aren't allowed to cross the wooden barrier. It used to be you could just walk through the whole area, but since the goats hadn't been around people for about a year, they put that barrier up to let the goats cross. And if the goats want to come on the left side of the barrier here, then you can pet them, and if they want to stay on the right, then that's their right to stay in solitude. The village playground here isn't so much of a playground, to be honest. During the fall time, they will have a hay maze in here for very little kids. They'll use the space for that. And then this stage, even here in the springtime, this stage is often used for live music and those sorts of things. They'll have special presentations, usually on the weekends, but they might during the week as well. They just don't have anything going on currently. The path continues going that way, but we're actually going to loop up and take this direction, and we're gonna double back on ourselves. So we're not gonna continue on through the zoo, we're just going to double back on the area that I told you we were going to earlier. There's animals off exhibit in this enclosure. Over off to our left is the Mombasa Cooker, which we're gonna try to eat at in just a little bit. Straight ahead is the Mombasa Lagoon, which you absolutely must enjoy, walk around and check out. It's a beautiful lagoon. And then throughout this path, directly straight in front of us, you will find a variety of animals, including a goose. The first animal back on this path is a Chicoan peccary. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I like these animals. There's a variety of beautiful and colorful birds over here off to our right in this cage. I see a golden-breasted starling, a Malay great Argus pheasant, a yellow-crowned bishop. The southern poodoo is on the left side of the path, right across from the birds. He's under his hut there, you can't really see him. But this is what he looks like, a poodoo. We looped up around to that area that I said was going to take you to the gorillas. If you keep going along this path, we would eventually end up there. But we want to pass by the dwarf mongoose over here off to the left. Then we're going to go down these steps right here. And we're going to be greeted by the Mombasa Lagoon. I see some pelicans in the very far distance going across. We see some birds right up here close. And just a beautiful scenery. There's benches all through along here. They have a waterfall. My kids love going up on that wooden structure, and we will do that at the very end of this video as we are looping back. Gorillas will be towards the end, by the way, as well. So if you want to check out those gorillas, highly recommend that you stick around to the end. We actually came out onto the lagoon here, and we're just going to chase this bird. Not really chase him, but I'd like to see him fly. There we go. He's just going from one rope to another. They have some more animals over here on this path as well, so do not miss them. The babarusas are in their hut right there. There's one walking around back there too. I always forget what these are called, but just at the end of the rope bridge there is this little island, and on this island is this bird with orange tufted head. He's a very cute looking bird. Oh look, and there's another one. All of these animals are very easy to miss if all you do is walk on the outside edge of the park. You do have to kind of weave your way in and out of these paths back here in the Nairobi Village, Mombasa Lagoon area. We've now wound our way back up here by the bats. Now, the bat house has been closed for the better part of a year. This is not a COVID closure. They were open post-COVID, and we've been in there, but this area has been closed for quite some time. My kids like playing with this big water ball here, though. At least Benjamin does. James walked right by it, but Benjamin went straight for it like a magnet. As we round the corner, we're going to encounter a variety of paid experiences here at the safari park. The Flightline Safari check-in is right here. We just did the Flightline Safari for the very first time 2 days ago. I'll link to the video so you can watch the whole thing, but I also put some clips in it right now to whet your appetite for it.
2 and 1.
There she goes.
2 and 1. Have fun.
Okay, here we go. If we head down this path, we're going to go towards Lorikeet Landing. The animals are temporarily off exhibit here at Lorikeet Landing, but when it is open for $8, you can go in there with a nectar cup and you can feed a lorikeet and it'll eat right out of your hand. It's a really, really fun experience. Right next to Lorikeet Landing is the Hidden Jungle, and this is where you're going to enter to go see the butterflies. Now, the butterfly exhibit in the Hidden Jungle is really only open during the springtime, like one time of year. The rest of the time this will be closed. To go see the butterflies, it used to be free, but after COVID, in order to limit the number of people in there, because if you remember, they used to have massively long lines that it would take maybe an hour or more to get into the butterfly jungle. Now they charge tickets. It's $15 a person, and so it is a bit pricey if you have a large family. Amy and I recently did it, and it was a fun experience as well. I think Lorikeet Landing was more exciting than the butterfly jungle. They're both about the same. They give you nectar, and then the butterflies will come and they'll eat off of your hand and that sort of thing. Right across from Hidden Jungle is Kibo. This is another ice cream place, and right here in this same area you see Flightline Safari down there. They have a variety of food. Mombasa Cooker. Right next to the Mombasa Cooker, they also have the Oasis Deli. Now, the Oasis Deli has fudge, Dippin' Dots, as you can see, and just a variety of sandwich type animals. Yeah, sandwich type foods, as you see there up on the sign. The Mombasa Cooker here has updated their menu since the last time we were here. We were told they were going to, and they now have a tower burger, a blue cheese bacon burger, bacon cheeseburger, plant-based burger, a few salads, and they still have chicken, just not quite to the level that they had before, along with the tater tots. Got a specialty Pendleton red, white, and blue, a hand-battered chicken tenders, hand-dipped corn dog, Mombasa hot chicken sandwich. From the Flightline Safari area, we're actually going to head down this path over here to the right. It's a little nook back here, but this is going to take us to the elephants. When you pop out at the end of the path there, you come to this sign that says Timbo Stadium. Stadium's right down behind there. We're actually going to swing off to the left just momentarily. There are multiple viewing locations for the elephants, but I always recommend that you check here first. There's one under that little bridge over there, 2 in the background, another one right up here with that ball. Actually, there's 2 of them. See, there's a smaller one on the other side of that elephant. A lot of times we've also seen them down here in the water, which is great fun whenever you have the opportunity to see them there. It does look like they're doing work in their upper exhibit, so there won't be any elephants up there at the moment, but they do have an upper and a lower exhibit, and this one is the lower one. So check here first. If there are no elephants here, go and check the upper exhibit. If you head straight, it'll take you towards the air balloon, and if you head off to the left here, it'll take you to the other area where you can see elephants. This here is Timbo Stadium. They have not used this stadium for a show pretty much since COVID. I haven't seen them do anything over here, but in the summertime when it's really, really hot, they do have fans that are positioned at the upper end of these stadiums. The fans are on full blast. This is shaded. It is a really great respite to come in here. You'll often see people sitting on these bleachers just getting some cool air in the very, very heat of the day in the summer. And then if you take these stairs or this stroller path over here off to the right, you can get up to the upper viewing area for the elephants. As expected, there are no elephants in the upper exhibit because they're doing work. But there is still elevated viewing of the lower exhibit over here as well. As we move along this path now, you'll have a picnic area over here off to the right that you can pack some snacks, go have a picnic, use these benches. There's some grassy areas kids can play in if you want to. You'll start to see these tents appear over here off to the left, and this is for the Roar and Snore campground. Roar and Snore is a paid experience here at the safari park where you can sleep in the safari park, and they have special activities that they're also paid, but only people who are doing the Roar and Snore campground even have the opportunity, like the nighttime wildlife safari. Because the safari park closes before it gets dark, the only way to do the nighttime safari is to do the Roar and Snore. Those of you who do love plants, here's another one, Chandler Herb Garden. This is the third garden type area here in the safari park for just enjoying plants. That herb garden is not a very large area. It spits you out right at the bottom of this path, and you can see it just pretty much right through here, the adjacent to it. So again, we're not going in there either, but know that it is there if you like plants. Once we come down here to the end of the path, we are going to see the end of the Flightline Safari. So this is the main station, and the station that you launch from, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. It is that metal structure way up there on the hill, and I'm at 7 times magnification at the moment. Let me pop it out to 1. All the way from up there down to here. So that is a very long distance. In fact, it's the longest zip line in California. You're flying for a solid minute. Awesome experience. Here comes one in for a landing right now. Right over from there is this observation area. From here, you can see all sorts of animals out on the savannah. I know they're little tiny dots for you guys. But then right up here close to us are the southern white rhinos. Sometimes they're a little closer than that and you can see them a little better, but we can see them just quite fine actually from where we are. Beyond that, that thatched roof over there is the watering hole. That's a sit-down restaurant here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Really, really great food. And you can see the animals on the safari right from your dining table. We can see the giraffes from up here, and they're being fed down in that cart. Now that looks like a worker feeding them, but right next to them is a wildlife safari cart, and that's a paid experience here as well. And sometimes you do get opportunities to feed those giraffes from that wildlife safari cart. So you get up nice and close to them though, and look how close they are. And sometimes those giraffes walk right up to the truck itself. I think what we were witnessing was them actually being fed, and when the people who are on the wildlife safari get to feed them, it's just this little biscuit.
We don't know for sure because we haven't done it.
No, but that's on our docket eventually. Yeah. Our path is winding down now, and we're heading towards the lion camp. But before we get there, we're encountering a spring safari dance zone. They've got these bumblebee-looking characters up here on a platform doing a little jig and dance. Just past that is one of the few wet zones here at the safari park. We have water coming out of the lion's head over there, water coming out of the tops of these trees, water all over the place. So take note, because if you're here in the summertime, your kids will definitely need this to stay cool. Now the lion camp is down that way, but before we go that way, I did want to pop up here very briefly, and this is Lion Camp Slushy. So this is a place where you can get some snacks and some beverages. Oh, Lion Camp Slushy and snacks, to be precise. You can get frozen bananas, obviously ices, hot dogs, chips, nachos, and things like that right here. And across from that is the Balloon Safari, where for just $20 a person, you can go all the way up there. If we loop back around, you might miss this sign right here, but it says Shirley's Cheetah Run. And this right here, next to the lions, is where they do the cheetah run during select times of the day. The cheetah will run back and forth on this path, and they'll show you just how fast a cheetah can run. This path right here will take us down to the lion camp though. He doesn't appear to be up close visible here in his exhibit, but we were just here on Saturday and got a really great look at him, so I'll show you that footage so that you can see what you might expect when coming to the lion camp. His exhibit is quite large, and he does have multiple viewing areas, so you can come over here and look for him over this direction if he's not in front of the glass. And since this is where the people are gathered, this is where I'm going to assume that lion is located. Once you leave the wooden area for the lion camp, if you actually went to the right, it would take you right back to Lion Camp Slushy and the cheetah run. To our left is the Africa Tram. Now, this is the first time we've come to the safari park on a weekday, possibly ever. It is a Monday, and it is roughly probably 12:30 in the afternoon, if I had to guess. It says the wait from this point is 20 minutes, not from this point like that sign, just the wait in general is 20 minutes at the moment. We've seen this whole queue filled up, and it's about an hour, but this is the Africa Tram. Definitely check it out. The Africa Tram is a 30-minute tour that goes around the African savanna. It shows you animals that you cannot see anywhere else in the safari park. You cannot walk towards them or anything like that. It's a special open savanna. Highly recommend that you do the Africa Tram. I also recommend, if you're coming on a weekend especially, that you do it first. It opens at 9:15. Also on the weekends, they have a Spanish Tram at 1 p.m. if you need a Spanish speaking tour. Otherwise, the rest of them throughout the day are English. Definitely do it if you're coming to the safari park. If you haven't been able to tell yet, there are lots of twisty turns throughout the safari park. If you head off to the right, you're going to miss a large portion of the exhibits here at the safari park. If you don't want to do the loop because you don't really particularly care about birds, you could cut this way and it will save you some walking. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the left path here, and it's going to go all around this water area, all the way on the other side of those trees. There's going to be a lot more to see, and we're going to show it all to you. We are now entering another food area. This is going to be the Walkabout Outpost over here off to our left. At Walkabout Outpost, you can expect to find sandwiches, salads, nachos, snacks, paninis, those sorts of things. Cold cuts and warm sandwiches, all the same right here at Walkabout Outpost. But over here is a walking path that will take us to the cheetah. We can actually see the cheetah in his own habitat. And there we found him. He's hanging out in the shade, quite alert, looking around. Those thatch roofs to the right are the sitting areas for Walkabout Outpost, so we're not too far from there. Now there's a path that goes off to the left, and this is the way that we're going. Straight ahead are a few birds like the Abyssinian ground hornbill, saddlebill stork, and the white stork. Once we reach the end of that path, this is the sight that we are greeted with. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that every time I come down here, I say this is one of my favorite parts of the safari park, and it's just for the aesthetic. I'm not a huge fan of birds. I mean, I do like flamingos. They're packed with personality, but I just like coming down here for how beautiful this is. Now we come upon the next wet zone here at the safari park. My kids are gonna demonstrate. If you don't come down that path that we mentioned earlier, you'll miss all of this. Look at the little baby ducks. They're like really little babies. Once we leave that lagoon area, we're going to enter a series of twisty, windy paths that mostly are just all plant related, but they do have some animals along them, and we'll show you the ones that we see. First up is the common warthog. We have Pumbaa over here. Next, we're greeted with a map marker, and this is to tell us that if we went on that path on the other side, we'd end up back at that split by Walkabout Outpost that we mentioned. So if you were to take that road, you would completely bypass everything we just showed you if you go straight over here without walking down by the lagoon. Now we found some vultures.
But they are of high ticket viability as far as...
Some beautiful waterfalls and plant life through here. Over in this area at the end of that first path, we have some white storks and a secretary bird. The storks are in the front. Secretary bird is back there in the back. Here the path twists and you go up another path. And it's gonna twist again until we get through that area up there. After we go through those arches, we end up here at the Okapi exhibit. I don't see him out at the moment. If you're curious, yes, we were just here 2 days ago on Saturday doing the Flightline Safari, as I mentioned earlier. We were just Amy and I for that trip. Today, the kids are still off of school for Easter break. They go back to school tomorrow. So we decided to bring them up again to the safari park to film this tour for you because it's one of the most requested videos that I've been getting lately. After I did the tour of the zoo, you all wanted to see a tour of the safari park as well. There are various birds along this wooden walkway that we're now on. There's more over in this area, as well as a little deer type animal, maybe a Garanook. I'm not quite sure. I don't have a sign nearby to see. We've made our way to the upper portion of the okapi exhibit, and he's not up here. I do see him in the back, though. That's his head back there, and that's behind like a gate that he can't get in here. So the zookeepers currently have him back there for whatever reason. Never mind, I lied. I did see the other one back there, obviously, but this one's up here. So one must be male and one must be female, and they keep them separated. Over in this exhibit, we have an Adra gazelle and an addax. They're often very up far in the distance, so we can't get a super close look at them most of the time. The area where we are currently located is known as the African Loop. They call it the African Loop because, well, there are African animals here, but because it loops back around to where we were. This loop takes us all the way back to the balloon and the lion camp area. You can see the balloon right there through the trees. But they actually have this convenient tower right here. There's an elevator and a set of stairs. Now the boys want to go up the stairs, so I guess I have to go up. But we have the stroller with us, so Amy's going to take the elevator. Once you reach the top, make sure that you soak in the view from up here. There's that balloon going up again. From up here we can see quite a lot. There's the Roaring Snore campground over there. Right through there, the little blue top is the Okavango Outpost. And then there's the water where we were at the bottom of the Africa Loop. Right here we have the Rift Sand Bar that doesn't look like it's open today. It was open on the weekend, so it just must not be open on weekdays. Then we have a small gift shop over here off to our right called Rift Gifts. We just got James some giraffe headband antler antenna thingy-doos. He got some. His brother has a panda hat that we got from the zoo. And now James has giraffe headband that he's going to also wear at Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World in just 5 weeks. Yay! Longtime visitors of the safari park will remember that they used to have a ropes activity over here, and they've taken all the stuff down for the most part. It is no longer there. The ropes safari is not at the safari park any longer. Something else that is missing is they used to have the lemur walk up here. The lemurs have moved elsewhere, I think to the San Diego Zoo, and they've put gibbons in their exhibit, but you cannot walk through there, so you can't go in with the gibbons. Right here where you used to go into the lemur walk, if you take this path that is right here, you'll actually go down towards the hidden jungle and the butterfly jungle. In fact, this is the exit to the butterfly jungle right here. And the exit to the Lorikeet landing is right up there. So that we're working our way towards that portion of the zoo now. We didn't go down that path though. We continued on with the path that we were walking on, the Africa Walk. Now we're working our way towards Mowazo Kitchen. Now this used to be a different dining location. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but about a year ago they rethemed it to Mowazo Kitchen, and here they have burgers, chicken tender salad, tacos, nachos, snacks, and cold drinks. They also have a playground that we're going to go show you. I think it's closed currently. The playground is known as the Mowazo Woods Discovery Area. And this is that play area. Like I said, it is currently closed, but it has been open recently, so they must just be doing some updates to it at the moment. We are now in the final home stretch of our tour here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. We're walking by the Benbow Amphitheater over here, which is another one of those amphitheaters that they have not begun to use since COVID. This is where you would have the bird show. But if we head down this direction, we're going towards the gorillas. They were doing a little animal show right here. I think we just missed it. The area that we're coming into now is technically the end of the gorilla path, but this is the way that we choose to walk. Over here off to our right is like a little theater, and they do have a screen up there that shares some information about gorillas, but honestly it's very hard to hear and see the screen, so not a lot of people use it. And then they have this wall where you can measure yourself next to a gorilla to see how you measure up in height and arm span and everything like that. This is the upper viewing area for the gorillas, but I'm not sure if they're in there because I see a worker on exhibit, actually 2 workers on exhibit, so I don't think the gorillas are out at the moment. There are a lot of people waiting for those gorillas to come back out on exhibit here. This will probably be another one of those situations where I just insert some footage from our trip on Saturday where we were able to see the gorillas quite well. In fact, all 8 of them were in the same corner of the exhibit, and it was a pretty fun experience. They're all like right here.
All right, man, thank you.
Nice.
Right past the gorilla is a bee eater exhibit. And if you come in the right time of day, you'll be able to see them being fed. They toss mealworms up in the air, and these bee eaters just swoop down and eat the worms right out of the air. The path starts to go downward now, and we're gonna go underneath this bridge over here. And when that path ends, we're gonna be right here at the Mombasa Lagoon. You might remember this from earlier on in our tour. There is that fort structure over there and the waterfall and the path with the ropes across the way that we walked at earlier today. Now it's time to go up on that fort. Now this path, before we go up onto that fort, takes us over here by some more flamingos. And if you see those people standing at the fence on the other side, that is the area that we first entered the safari park and the base camp area. And I told you that off to right there was a viewing area for some birds. And this is the viewing area. You can also see it from over here. But my kids love to go up here, so that's where we're going now. Here is our view from up here. They do have a lower walkway, and unfortunately those with wheelchairs or strollers aren't able to come up onto this upper viewing area. But there is one down below as well. The top path doesn't take you very far because we're already down and now on the other side of the flamingos. As we make that turn, we're heading straight towards the dwarf mongoose, which we showed you earlier in the day. The dwarf mongoose is out right now. It wasn't out earlier, but it is out now. There's that dwarf mongoose sitting on top of the log. There's a bunch of them in here, actually. Oh, Benjamin found an egg. And here we are once again back at the center in the safari base camp area. We have the bazaar off to our right. That's that large gift shop. Now would be a good time to check it out if you haven't done so already in your time through the safari park. We're walking by the Congo kitchen again to our left as we make our way out of the safari park now. But don't make the mistake of thinking that this tour is done. There's still just a little bit more of the safari park that we need to show you. If you take the rightmost path here, you will go straight towards the exit, and you can do that. But if you come over here off to the left, we're gonna go into an aviary called Wings of the World. This will also take you straight to the exit, but you can go into an aviary on the way. Now, I am not the biggest fans of aviaries, but this one doesn't have a whole lot of overhead areas where birds can sit and poop on you. So it's mostly okay. Plus, the rock straight ahead is covered in white. So that seems to be where they like to do their business the most. And apparently right there on the ground. And on the side of that tree. Why did they paint the bush white? That makes no sense to paint the bush. Obviously, I kid. Stay away from the white spots. Stay very, very far away from the white spots. Look how close that bird is to James. After we leave Wings of the World, we're back to the hyacinth macaw that we saw at the very beginning. We're on the other side, but there he is right there. What a beautiful bird. Gorgeous, gorgeous bird. Hello, you're staring right at me. There's nothing left for us now but to head for the exit, which you can take right over this way. Well, that is it for our time here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. I hope you learned a lot. If you want to see more tours like this one, go ahead and check out this tour of the San Diego Zoo that I did a few weeks ago, where we did pretty much the same exact thing, just at the zoo. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you again next time.